it's been ugly in Colorado. I mean, we've been talking about them, sporadically over the last couple of weeks, but 5-15-6 in the last 26 games. Like they are a real mess. They've lost their last 3 games all in overtime.
There's so many teams, Brian, that are such a mess, but they always keep saying 3 points out of a playoff spot.
Well, because it's the reality, right? And
but it's nuts.
One of the 5 games the Avs won was against Toronto, and they deserved to win that game at Scotiabank 3 weeks ago. They outplayed the Leafs. They outworked the Leafs. But, I had someone send this text in earlier in the show wondering if maybe it's in the best idea and best plans for Colorado to almost bottom out. And you could end up with 2 top 5 picks. They got Ottawa's pick, and if they keep plummeting, 2 picks in the top 5 would be pretty decent, I would think.
Yeah, they're in a pretty interesting spot because, as you mentioned, they've just been, they've been a train wreck now for 2 months. This is when they're desperate for some good news. Jared Bednar, the coach, who came out to speak to the media and stuff, he goes, last time we had points in 3 straight games was in November. But they lost all 3 of the games that they got points in.
Yeah.
Like these last 3, they're just looking for something good. Colorado has 5 picks in the first 3 rounds this year. They've got Cale Makar, who is the number 4 pick from 2 years ago. He's really good. He's coming. Connor Timmins is a defenseman who's been hurt most of the year with a concussion, but is just back playing. Really good player. They've got Martin Kaut, who's their first-rounder from last year. He's really good. They got Shane Bowers, first-rounder from Ottawa that came over in the Duchesne trade. They've got some really, really good young players. They've got 12 players that on this roster whose contracts are up at the end of the year. So they're going to have money. They're going to have young players. They're going to have cap room. And they're going to have high picks. I don't even think bottoming out or whatever, I don't think it's going to matter. They're going to be in a really good spot to quickly retool here or quickly take the next step to something closer to what they were last year, which felt like a miraculous shot. Anyway, they got a chance to be pretty good pretty quick, I think.
Ray, you just mentioned some of the players coming over from Ottawa, going to Ottawa. If Stone and Duchesne tell the Senators they are not re-signing and they want to be moved, is it getting close to game over for that franchise? I mean, how much more can they take?
Well, there's not much gone right for them, right? This is why I thought, even though they drafted Brady Tkachuk, I thought they should have given Colorado their first-round pick last year, so this would be all over. Mm-hmm. Because it didn't take much to guess that Ottawa was not going to have a very good season. So now they've got Duchesne and Stone and Dzingel that are unrestricted free agents. We all know that. We know they don't have a first-round pick. They're in a tough spot. They've got some nice young kids. Drake Batherson's having a terrific year in the American League. Alex Formanton looks like he's going to be a good young prospect. Shabbat's a terrific one. But holy man, they've got a long, long way to go, and they got no first-round pick. So they'll try and recoup. If they can't trade these guys, or if they can't sign them, they've got to try and recoup first-round picks in each of them. They got to try and get a top prospect in each of them. And, you try and get a third piece in each of them. They're both unrestricted. It's going to be interesting to see how much Pierre Dorion can hold on to his cards here and hold and hold and hold to get not just a trade that has numbers coming back, but real quality coming back. Because a lot of times we hear teams go, oh, yeah, they got 5 pieces back. Yeah, good for them. But there are a couple of them that aren't really top-end prospects anyway. And so I think they've got to look at quality over quantity.